I'm going to show you a series of clips, and I have a feeling that Justin Baldoni's attorney is going to prove that there was no sexual harassment at all. Because based off of what I was able to find and what I pulled out of the New York lawsuit, I do not believe that there was any sexual harassment at all. I am convinced that she caught feelings, the husband found out, and that's why they had to rewrite the entire script. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you what method acting is.
Sometimes you just can't leave a good role behind. These are 15 method actors who stayed in character while on set.
I did stay in character on set with everybody.
Number 1. It's hard not to lose yourself in the dark. For his role in Dahmer, showrunner Ryan Murphy said that Evan Peters stayed in character for months.
One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life.
He created a 45-minute audio composite of Dahmer's voice that he listened to every day to get his speech patterns right.
I'm just trying to say I'm sorry. So you gonna open your gift?
And to nail Dahmer's rigid posture, he wore lead weights in his shoes and around his arms. Evan Peters has spoken about how much he appreciated the crew's support, comparing them to being a ray of light amidst the darkness.
I felt like everybody was so protective, all of you guys, when we were working together. I felt very comfortable and safe.
Number 2. Lady Gaga has a great poker face. She felt as though she'd truly lived as Reggiana for a year and a half while filming House of Gucci, and she spoke with an Italian accent for 9 months, even among her own family.
If I were to call you on the phone, I would have spoken to you just like this.
Director Ridley Scott said that he almost forgot those weren't her real mannerisms.
This is serious.
But there were some negative side effects. Close to the end of filming, Lady Gaga went for a walk through Italy, and as she described it, I panicked. I thought I was on a movie set. No.
If you pull up all of Blake Lively's filmography, you'll notice one thing. You'll notice a pattern when it comes to her acting, outside the fact that she can't act. She doesn't do anything more than kissing. The most she'll do is petting. The most she'll do is allow the actor to touch her, but she's fully clothed. She's never been topless. She's never done any type of implied nudes. She's never been fully nude, ever. The most you'll probably see is her wrapped in a sheet, where it gives the perception that the character and the lead character had some type of intercourse, but it's after the fact. Never in her entire filmography has she done anything more than kissing and petting. Now, me saying in multiple videos that she cannot act, I'm not saying that just because I don't like her. I'm saying that because she's actually fixed her mouth and said it. But if you don't have to believe me, listen to her say it for yourself. She cannot act.
Well, I'm not the type of actor who can, act without producing, you can't just put me in any clothes and give me any words and have me step in and transform. And I used to be very insecure about that. I used to feel like an imposter because I would watch actors who were just shapeshifters. They could do it in any circumstance. And then I realized that half of the actors that I admire most were people who were more filmmakers, or people who had to get their hands in the storytelling and the writing and the creating and the environment, and people that I respected so much. And I was like, oh, okay, there's 2 different categories, and I'm in this category, and that's okay. So once I started embracing that and leaning into it and not feeling embarrassed about it, I think I was able to do the best work. And so that's why I'm so proud of this film.
Because I love y'all, I sat there and watched her past filmographies so that way I can develop a objective baseline. Because she has come out of her own mouth and said she cannot act, and looking at her past filmography, to include Savages, that she's never done anything more than heavy petting with clothes on. You're not going to find her in anything less than a bikini. That's like the closest thing to underwear you will find her in is a bikini. But whenever she's interacting with a male co-star, she is fully clothed. It leads me to believe that she caught feelings for Justin Baldoni. And let me show you another clip.
Well, I just really love romance, and I love it as an audience member, and I love it in my real life, and I just really believe in romance. I think that Baz Luhrmann and I are probably the two people who love romance more than anyone ever. I see fireworks, and I realize it's probably, visions of fireworks, but that's how I just love romance. So Colleen made the relationships, the draw of each character so clear that I knew exactly what Lily was feeling, and it wasn't linear. And I think that that's why those looks can be a more interesting experience, because it's not oh, I'm in love with this person, oh, I'm attracted to this person. There's so many layers to it. So with Atlas, there's so much friendship, and there's so much trust, and then there's so much regret and guilt and sadness because of, things that happen that may not have been in her control, and missed opportunity. And then with Ryle, there's a deep attraction, but there's also, when there are red flags, even though you're not ignoring them, there's something subconscious and then sometimes conscious. So there's just so many different feelings happening at once.
So she's telling the press that she cannot act worth a damn. And then she's admitted that she loves the idea of love. And people who are like that fall in love very easily. On top of that, she's married, has never done any body of work where she's done topless, implied, simulated, or full nude, and then step into a role several months after giving birth. This was a recipe for disaster. And then coupled with the fact that Justin Baldoni was most likely method acting. I'm not even a lawyer, and I can completely dismantle this case. So I can only imagine an entertainment lawyer or a corporate lawyer just shredding her on the stand. I would not be surprised if they try to settle out of court. Nah, they need to take that shit to court. But I also attached a screenshot of the 30-point memorandum demand, and you're going to see, if you listen to everything that I'm saying, you can see, how can you call sexual harassment on a set that has sex scenes and kissing and heavy petting and violence? And just like what I said in the previous video, Blake Lively believed that all of the things that Ryle was doing, it wasn't being done to Lily, it was being done to Blake. And then Blake, because she doesn't know how to act, and she's probably unfamiliar with what method acting is, could not see that that's Ryle, but she saw Justin. And everything is coming together. But yeah, shout out to y'all for tagging me in all of these videos, because the pieces were coming together like a 3D puzzle.